Selling your home fast and for top dollar has less to do with luck and more to do with strategy. Recently, I was working with this wonderful couple. They were first-time sellers, and in the week or so before we went live on the market, they found themselves plagued with a whole lot of stress and one big question. What if we can't sell this house? While they had reason to be worried, they were currently in the process of building a new home and needed to sell so they could move into their short-term rental while their new build gets finished. If they didn't sell, they'd be stuck with 2 homes, 2 mortgages, and too much responsibility and continued stress. So we did everything we could think of to optimize the home for a fast sale. 4 days after going on the market, guess what? We were under contract. There is, of course, an element of luck with selling a home fast. But if you're doing everything right on your end, it's only a matter of time before the right buyer comes along. On the flip side, if you're failing to take the necessary steps to optimize your home for a fast sale, you may be turning off potential buyers who might have made an offer if things were different. To sell your home fast, you have to take an active role in the process. Don't sit back and wait for the buyer who can see past potential flaws. Do your homework, make fixes, and go out of your way to show how great your property really is. In this video, we're gonna go over 10 tips to make sure that you can sell your house fast and for top dollar. I'm Nick with Designer and the DIYer. When I'm not DIYing and my wife isn't designing, we are 2 real estate agents in the awesome city of Austin, Texas. So step number 1, I'm a little bit biased on this one, but you want to choose your agent wisely. When I see a home that's been sitting on the market for a while, it has some obvious detractors like Christmas lights still hanging up in March or an unkept lawn. My first thought is always that the sellers deserve a better agent. You want to be working with a realtor who is as invested in selling your home as you are, which means someone who will tell you exactly what you're doing wrong and how you can improve it. Not someone who will just stick a lockbox in the front door and help coordinate showings. When you're selecting an agent to work with, ask for referrals from people you trust, go online, see their reviews, check out what kind of content they're posting and just how much of an expert they are. And consider your particular needs. If your home could use some help with staging, find an agent who has experience in design. If you're selling a fixer-upper, find an agent who has a proven track record of selling those types of homes. You have a lot of option when it comes to agents, so choose one that best fits you and your unique specific situation. Number 2, we want to go on the market at the right time. The housing market, as we know, ebbs and flows throughout the year, and not to mention the market is always fluctuating because of interest rates or at the time of shooting this video, we have an election year, so there's always things that are going on that you want to make sure that your agent is aware of. While it's not impossible to sell a home in November or December, typical slow months, you're much more likely to have success in the spring or the fall, since more buyers are looking during those times. If you're trying to sell a home quickly, your best bet is to list no earlier than late February so that you can take advantage of the heavy activity. As a matter of fact, I just was doing some research and shot a video on this. The absolute best time to list your house is the week of April 14th and 20th. Next, we want to make sure that we have professional pictures taken. Photos are the very first thing a buyer will see of your home, since we know that everyone is shopping online and they can dictate whether they end up scheduling a showing or not. Good real estate photos should highlight the best features of your home with every measure taken to make the space look as warm and inviting as possible. It's not as easy as it sounds, and it's not something that you should trust with just anybody. Have your photographer schedule your shoot around weather so that you can be sure that it's on a sunny day that showcases the natural light that comes into your house. Clear out your home with any pictures, the same as you would for showings, like clear your counters, minimize clutter, and target your staging and move things around as needed. Your photos are one of the most important parts of your listing, so make sure they're done right. If they're not, you're going to get fewer potential buyers through the door. Another very important part about listing your house and selling quickly for top dollar is to price it right the first time. Of course, every seller, every single one of my listing appointments, everybody wants to make as much money as possible off their home sale. But it's important to be realistic and look at the data. What you paid for your home matters significantly less than what the market is dictating at the time, particularly if your goal is to sell fast. While you don't have to underprice your home for a quick sale, you do have to price it smartly. Use a home estimate tool to get a basic idea of what range you're looking at. That's before you talk to a good real estate agent. And then you and your real estate agent can work together to find a good starting number. Usually what I'll do first is do comparable market analysis of the home, look at how long homes are sitting on the market, find homes that are very similar to yours. If you have a 4.3, 2,500 square foot house, I'm gonna be looking at those similar types of properties and come up with a range of low, high, and then a good starting number, and then we can work together. Of course, there are many factors that go on in this. Does your home have a pool? Have you made updates that add value to it? So it's important to sit down first before you have a listing consult with the real estate agent. Highlight exactly what you think is ideal with your home, and then you and your agent can work together to come up with a value decrease, value add on your market value. Next thing on our list to sell your house fast for top dollar, we want to definitely declutter. As soon as you know you're going to list your home, you need to get to work clearing out the clutter. Rent a storage unit or find a family member willing to share some extra space in their home and box up everything that you won't need in the near future. This includes out-of-season clothing, books, most of your decor, and pretty much anything that's been sitting in the back of your closets and cabinets for a while. The less stuff you have cluttering your home, the more the buyers will be able to see the space itself and envision themselves and their stuff inside your home, which is what you want to do when you have your property for sale. While you're decluttering, you want to depersonalize. Buyers need to be able to see themselves in the property, and they're going to have a tough time doing that if they're looking at your family pictures. The sooner you can remove any items that personalize the home, like photos, mail, personal papers, files, that type of stuff, the better you can present a blank slate to the buyers who come through. Next, you want to stage your home. Decluttering and depersonalization are all part of the staging process, but not all of it. To sell quickly, your home needs to be decorated in a way that highlights its best assets. Achieving that can mean anything from rearranging your furniture to open up the space or removing furniture that's bulky or unnecessary. Painting your walls a neutral color, repairing obvious imperfections. You'll also want to be sure to get rid of anything that dates your house, like holiday decorations or a snow shovel leaning against the garage. I have a couple of videos with some staging tips. So my wife is an interior designer, real estate agent, and expert stager. Follow our page for more ideas on staging if you're planning on listing your house in the near future. We also want to be accommodating. The selling process can be a bit of a pain, especially when buyers start scheduling showings and you have to get out of the house, but it could be worse. You could have no buyers coming through at all. When we're selling houses, we want to make sure to say yes to every single showing request. Even the one when we're in the middle of lunch and have to be out of the house with 2 pets, kids in 30 minutes. Unless it's truly impossible, rearrange your schedule around what's ideal for the buyer, not what's ideal for you. If you suggest a new time than what's requested, the buyer or their agent may not be able to make it work, and they just may pass on your property entirely, especially in a time where we have inventory starting to increase. You definitely want to set yourself apart. I want potential buyers to feel warm and welcome. So for every showing that came through, or for every showing that you have time for, you can set out some fresh cookies, water bottles, just like candy. A lot of families that are coming in, their kids love that. I remember walking to a recent house that we did a renovation on. The seller had a candy bowl in the entrance, and my kids loved it. They called it the chocolate house. We ended up buying it and doing a flip on it. A little extra step that helps buyers remember your property and also puts them in a good mood right off the bat. You don't want to put out baked goods all the time, but like I said, just water bottles and things that you don't have to constantly be going to go check if your house is vacant, especially. Also, you want to ask for feedback. Some buyer's agents will contact your listing agent after your showing to give feedback on your property, good or bad, but many don't. You want to make sure to tell your listing agent to ask for feedback after every showing. You want to know exactly what you're doing right and wrong and get feedback on certain things because the buyer's agent and the buyers are touring other properties, so you definitely want to get some of that comparison, and maybe there's something you can tweak. Right now, the average home sells anywhere between 3 weeks and over 80 days in some areas, but it's absolutely possible to sell your house faster than that if you take the time to optimize each aspect of the process. While you can't make a buyer materialize out of thin air, you can do everything in your power to make sure that when the right buyer sees your property and comes along, they know immediately that they found their perfect fit. To kind of wrap things up, a few more tips to selling your house fast, and just to reiterate some, invest in professional listing photos. First impressions matter, so make sure your home's listing photos highlight your home's best features. Invest in a professional photographer. Your listing agent should have access to one or two to recommend to you. And then you could go through the photos along with your agent and pick the best ones. Plan open houses. If you can, host an open house. They're a great way to attract all sorts of buyers and buyers agents. They can also help avoid multiple showings. Market your home effectively. Choose a realtor with marketing know-how, such as using social media channels, emails, mailers, and events. A good real estate agent should be able to harness different marketing strategies to find potential buyers. Avoid over-improving your home. While it's important to get your house in top condition when listing it, you shouldn't make costly additions or improvements, especially if you want to sell your house quickly. For one, the buyer might not want to pay for your improvements, and simple improvements such as decluttering, repainting, and fixing holes in the walls can go a long way. So that's all for today's video on how to sell your house fast and for top dollar. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned a thing or two about preparing your house and preparing your mindset a little bit for the home sale process. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments. If you learned a thing or two, hit that like button. And of course, for more DIY, home sale, staging, and everything in between, subscribe to our channel. Thanks.